truly remarkable experience, once in a lifetime, life-changing experience.
But again, it was such a fantastic trip. So many miracles were done.
We're all here for one single purpose, and that's to serve selflessly.
So I'm now very honoured to meet Jimmy, who's come all the way from Toronto. Jimmy has done exceptional service for the mission. This initiative of the chiropractic started in November 2013, then it got moved to Mumbai Samagam of this year, and now it's expanded to the Delhi Samagam 2014 with 50 doctors serving here in the Samagam. So Jimmy, please tell me, what was your drive, your inspiration to start this?
Sure. Well, I'm a chiropractor and I practice in Canada, and I've been practicing approximately 10 years. And throughout the 10 years, we've always wanted to, even before graduation, I always wanted to do something to give back. And when I realized that India was not part of, did not have this type of health system in India, that project started to find out why. So in the political aspect, I'm also running the Indian Association of Chiropractic Doctors in India. So that initiative led to bring a collaboration with doctors and find a cause. And I had approached many groups, and then I approached the Nirankari Mission. And Puja Mataji and Babaji with open arms said, you know, we have this fantastic health system here. Please come to, you know, serve our people. I was so happy to hear that. So I said, okay, let's start it. Let's see what happens. And I put out a feeler to a bunch of doctors to see how many people would be interested in November last year. And we had about 13 to 14 total from abroad and India. We had a couple doctors. Mm-hmm. So since then, it was such a success. I believe that time we saw about 5,500 people over a 4-day spread.
Wow.
So hence came January very quickly, just a few months later. So I put the feelers out again. It was such a fantastic trip. So many miracles were done. Many people were healed immediately. We saw a lot of babies, anywhere from pretty much newborns to 90, 95-year-old patients. So January we had about 20. And all of a sudden I could feel that people that were coming to serve also found their purpose.
Yeah.
Because, you know, practicing in North America or Europe or wherever it is, you kind of are stuck in that bubble that everything's pretty straightforward. Mm-hmm. But when you come here and experience the suffering and you see the necessity, there's a lot of people here that are not getting what they need. That's where it really impacted them. Hence, when I started talking to Babaji and Mataji about November and asking, you know, is it possible that we can again do Seva again? We had an excess of, I would say, 70 or 80 people wanting to come.
Wow.
But again, you know, just because of logistics, we capped it at around 50 people. And, you know,
people actually wanting to come.
Absolutely. And the good thing about it is, I know we were calling it chiropractic, but actually, we actually had, yes, majority chiropractic, but we also had a few family physicians this time, addiction specialists, and 2 orthopedic surgeons. So now it's developed much beyond just your basic chiropractic treatment. So phenomenal.
And what's been happening here is that we have about 30 chiropractors and students that are here, interns that are here, and we've just been taking care of people, and we've been educating people about what chiropractic is, and the healings have just been incredible because, you know, we're all here for one single purpose, and that's to serve selflessly and to just give of our own abundance and be able to bring as many people back. You know.
You were created to function healthy. You were created with all the wisdom of the universe, God within us, to express ourselves. But if you have misalignments in the spine, impinging upon the nerves, the wisdom can't function, it can't deliver. And so therefore we have what we in chiropractic call, we are no longer at ease. And so therefore we have moved into a diseased state. And we're now out of ease and we're in a state of dis-ease. Dis-ease leads to incoordination within the body. Right. Incoordination within the body then means that the body will start to malfunction, dysfunction. That then leads to a situation where we may have a diseased state, which shows up with signs or symptoms.
Right, I see.
So the signs and symptoms are the last thing to come on and the first thing to go. But chiropractic is about the body functioning and expressing itself physically, mentally, socially, 100% well-being. Very, very different to anything else that
So that's very interesting that you talk about like the dis-ease and being in ease. Now let's see where we are right now. We're in the Samagam, where people come here for spiritual healing, for spiritual ease.
Yes.
So with this sort of combination of physical ease and mental ease, like spirituality.
Yes.
I mean, what's your take on that? Like, this is all voluntary work you guys are doing, so obviously must be something inside that's, yearning to help others.
Life Chiropractic West was set up by a guy called Dr. Sid Williams, and Sid also set up Life University in Marietta, Georgia. And Sid had this concept, which we have on our sleeve here, to give, to love, to serve.
Right, yeah.
To give for the sake of giving, to love for the sake of loving, to serve for the sake of serving, knowing that there's an abundance in the universe. And if we give, we will receive. But don't give to receive.
But the great thing is that I've seen people walk up to our chiropractors and stop them and hug them for the treatments they've received. Really great stuff. Really,
It's a really
great.
self-rewarding position to be in.
As a practitioner, it's the ultimate, because as a practitioner, you are taught to try to practice with selflessness and to do no harm to others and to be to help people.
Yeah.
And truly, this is the most ultimate help you can give somebody, because it has nothing to do with money. And it just has something to do with somebody coming in having a problem, and somebody coming in and trying to help them with their problem, trying to make something positive out of a negative.
So you've met Babaji, he's
Yes.
His Holiness.
Yes.
So what was that experience like for you?
The masters throughout the ages, whether it be Jesus or whoever, they go from having, they become more than average, then they become great, then they become extraordinary, and then they go to a level of simplicity. And I think that's the secret, that when you can say your message in such a simple way that everybody understands. It's not complicated, it's very simple. And we have a saying in chiropractic, it is as simple as that. And people want to say, but there must be more, but there must be, no, it is as simple as that. And so listening to speak for the last 2 nights, and just the nice connections and the metaphors, the stories that he shares, that makes it simple for the million-odd people that are sitting in that area to go, I understand that makes sense. It's not complicated, it's very simple. And the message every one of us can follow.
I've heard this from many of the doctors and also some of the volunteers here, that there's a real need for chiropractic in India. There's only 10, I believe, that are actually functioning here. So in terms of your purpose here in India and what you're giving, and also your contribution to the Samagam, how does that make you feel? And going forward, how do you think it's going to progress?
Right. Well, first of all, how it makes me feel, because that's probably the biggest thing. We come to give. We truly come to give, and just come to serve, give, love, and serve. That's what our motto is, right? And the more you serve, and the more you give, and the more you give of yourself, without expecting anything in return, which we're not getting any monetary return. That's not what we're looking for. But you get returned so much more on a spiritual level. I mean, we're exhausted at serving for 12 hours at the end of a day, and yet we're so spiritually filled and just so emotionally high from it, right?
So you've brought obviously a lot of your colleagues to India. What's been their feedback so far?
The one kind of phrase I'm hearing is, this has been life-changing.
Wow.
It's phenomenal, because again, I think, like I mentioned before, in North America, Europe, or our Western type nations, we are truly living in a bubble. We're not exposed to this day to day. And until you see it, you see it on TV a little bit here and there, but until you actually see it, do you then realize that is our greater purpose? We must give back. I mean, 4 days in a year to not sleep and just serve is a small price to pay for the benefit of our people, for humanity. So I feel that a lot of these people are saying that we want to this is our way of giving back. And any time and trip is there, please invite us or let us know when it is. So it's wonderful to hear Babaji and Mataji just allowing us to come here. Is wonderful.
I mean, you walk out there and you literally can get tears to your eyes just looking at the amount of love and service and dedication, and nobody is worried about what shoes you have on or how much money you have. That doesn't matter. It's about the connection between one person to another, and that's it.
The hardest thing for me at nighttime when we close down is no one wants to stop, because there's still 200-300 people outside waiting to come in. They have to cut the line up and send the rest away. that's the hardest thing, leaving knowing that if I could have just touched a few more people, if I could have just maybe been a little faster throughout my day, whatever, to try and get these people. They waited in line for hours to come in, and that's probably the hardest thing, and yet there's a gratification to that too, in that we know we're taking care of as many people as we possibly can. So I want to bring back more people because we have so many more people to take care of, and our goal is to be able to touch everyone who comes to Somalia.
I've seen like doctors having cat naps,
Yeah, because,
working 20.
because we're in here by 10:30, and we don't leave here till very late, so they're tired. So yeah, they are having cat naps and they're having breaks, and there's great facilities here. They've been looked after really well. Everyone's been looked after really well. They're all working really hard in there. In fact, they're so passionate. They're not stopping. Mm-hmm. They just want to keep going. They want to see as many people as they can.
Mm-hmm. By changing one person's life and their health and well-being, you can change the family, you can change the neighbourhood, you can change the city, you can change the country, you can change the world. And so our attitude is what we do here at the Mission has an incredible ripple effect that will go out across this country. But more importantly, I suppose, that's great that happens, but the young students that are here, the effect that has on them, that they see what they see here, they see the amazing results that are happening. People that have come in that have been deaf all their life, they get an adjustment, they can hear.
Wow.
People that have been in wheelchairs for 10 years, they get an adjustment. The next day they walk in here, they can now walk. For a chiropractic student to see this. Now people think, oh, it's a miracle. As a chiropractor, we say it's not a miracle, it's the body just functioning the way it was designed to function in the first place. So for them to go back to college, go back and share their experience with other students, share their experience with patients, knowing what's possible because they've seen it, they've been part of it, and think that student is going to go from age 25 and be in practice until maybe 65, 40 years, that one thing that they learnt here and the effect that they'll have on millions upon millions of people, that's the power of what the Mission is all about.